Okay. Hello! Welcome back to the stream. I am ViridianGames, Anthony Salter, also known as Viridian of ViridianGames. And this has been a very, very eventful week. Not quite as eventful as last week, although there have been some stuff. But let's see. Let's look at the list of stuff I want to go over here today. Had my last day this week at Lost Boys. For some reason, my last day was the 31st, so I came back from my week off for one day, and of course I didn't actually do any work that day because I'd already had all my privileges revoked and all of that stuff. Say goodbye to everybody, and that hurt real bad. I had a friend. Oh man. We have our stand-up at around 10:30 in the morning, and I love stand-ups. I think they're great. I think they're the part of Agile that works. You know, every morning, everybody, very quickly says, "I did this yesterday. I'm doing this today. This is what's blocking me," and it just goes from there. Keeps everybody on the same page. But in this case, stand-up was our chance to say goodbye. So I said goodbye, and I'm still in the meeting. Everybody else is saying goodbye. I'm still on video, and a friend of mine messages me and tells me he's going to miss me. And then he says, "I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for you." And for a minute, I didn't know what he was talking about. And then I remembered that years ago, I had told him he had the makings of a producer and that he should work towards that role, getting that role in the company. So that was when I lost it. That was when I had to turn my camera off and just put my head in my hands for a little bit. That was a tough day. But again, it's nice to have this happen without there being any recriminations. I don't blame Lost Boys. I don't even blame Visual Concepts, the people we were contracting with, because they had to do the same thing we did. They had to cut their team size, and part of cutting their team size was cutting our team size. It's just how it was. Anywho, okay, so the Linux stuff continues. As you can see, I've got everything going here. It's all working extremely well. The number of things that I cannot do on Linux compared to Windows is very, very, very small. And one thing I did this week, I posted the VOD of last week's stream, and someone immediately pointed out on YouTube that I was using NetBeans 8.2, and they were like, "Yeah, NetBeans 8.2. Who was that?" That was Hurricane 31415. But NetBeans 8.2 came out in 2016. And it's old, it's creaky. There's a lot you can't do with it. How old is it? It's so old that it does not know that C++17 exists. So one of the things I did this week was get on Visual Studio Code, which I don't hate. I would much prefer if there was that actual version of Visual Studio that could run on Linux and integrate with GCC. Excuse me just a second. Okay. But my goal this week was to, you know, and I tried to do this before, but I'd always run into this issue. My goal was to get the project off of NetBeans and onto Visual Studio Code, building in C++. And I tried this before, and the issue I'd always run into was the fact that instead of, you know, setting things with checkboxes and typing in paths in a window, you configure this by writing JSON scripts. These 3 JSON scripts specifically. I was initially, you know, displeased that this is what I had to do, but I was able to get through it, mostly because of Grok. I cannot believe how many times I have thought, okay, how do I do this? And the answer to the question has been to ask Grok how to do it and then do what Grok says. And I understand that this is the beginning of every dystopian sci-fi novel about AI taking over. But what are you gonna do when you know something is irritating and difficult? If something or someone can give you step-by-step instructions as to how to proceed, that's a tool that you should use. I like the fact that Grok doesn't remember anything, so you don't have to worry about privacy issues or anything like that. And it's just real nice being able to go to, you know, an open Grok page over here on this monitor and type in Grok, where's the settings to change the font size in Visual Studio Code, and Grok will tell you exactly where it is. But I was able to get it configured. Here's all the source code. Here's all the third-party stuff. The Git integration is really nice. These files have been modified. These files are new because I'm adding Lua to the project for a reason I'll tell you in a minute. Oh, excuse me. Oh, here we go again. Much better. And you know, I can push from here if I want to, but I actually prefer to push from the command line or from the Git GUI. But you know, it's just the integration is, you've got dots that tell you, hey, you've got unsaved changes here. If you use Copilot, here it is right here. I had no trouble integrating the font that I like. It's this beautiful, beautiful font. Let me show you. I've been using this font for decades now. Pro font, here it is. And the one thing that Linux does that Windows doesn't is that it gives you a preview of fonts right there in the Explorer. This is called Pro Font. It's specifically designed to be a programming font. It's designed to be extremely readable, even at very, very small type sizes. And I've been using it for decades, and I doubt I'll ever go to anything else. Blake523 says, maybe it acts like it doesn't remember. Yeah. I'm reminded of this short story that I read back when I was a kid. And this was written back in the 60s or the 70s. And in the short story, all the computers in the world get networked together. And now we know that that's the internet. But previously, the whole point of it was that it was supposed to create this computational surge where all the computers could work on one problem simultaneously. Um, and so they finish the network connection. They step up to the console, and this is out in public, by the way. This is in a public square because it's a big celebratory event. They step up to the console and they ask it, this is the question no single computer has been able to answer. Now that you're networked together, here's the question. Is there a God? And the computer responds, yes, now there is a God. And the guy goes to pull the plug, and lightning strikes him out of a clear blue sky and kills him. And that's the end of the story. So we're headed for something. It's going to be big. It's going to be life-changing. I don't know what it is. I'm not that much of a futurist. It's just a wave we got to ride and see where we end up. Still got the snifflies. It's the temperature going up and down. It does it again. Okay. My favorite programming font. Search for this font. It's free. Get it. Love it. All right. So now we can build and run here in Visual Studio Code. And of course, we're still using GCC as the compiler, or GPP, or G++, or whatever you want to call it. I'll always call it GCC because that's what it started as. And I need to clear these warnings out because it has to report these every time it builds, and it makes it take a second. But the artists actually did some stuff this week, and because I was working on what I've been working on, what I'm about to talk about, I wasn't able to get a lot of their stuff in, so I don't really have a lot to show for them right now. Oh, I forgot to set it back to the big... Stop that. And I forgot to fix that bug. Okay. Engine.cfg, there we go. 20 by 1080. Y'all can hear the music, right? Okay, here we go. I said to fix that bug. All I have to do is set a flag to yes on startup instead of no, and it'll fix it. And I just got around to it. Okay, so here's what I've been working on, and it's the conversation system. And what I didn't realize when I started this was, I picked the conversation system because I thought it would bring the game to life, but it's going to bring the game to life because you cannot just work on the conversation system. All I was able to really get done this week was to create a system that would mock up a conversation, but oh dang, wrong font. Okay. Here's Shamino. Um, this is just temp text. Let me change the font. Get grief. I'm a professional game developer, I swear. I'm a professional game developer, but I'm not a professional streamer, which is what keeps catching me out here. Let's see. I did a poll on X as to which of these fonts people like the best, and I forgot to set it back to the original font when I was done. So here we go again, F5. It's so weird. Every IDE uses a different function key for starting the project. Visual Studio uses F7. NetBeans used F11. Visual Studio Code uses F5. Get your stuff together, seriously. Okay. Also, I got an outline around the white text, which I really, really like. There. Now, this is, a mock-up, but, this is basically how the conversation system looks. You've got the portrait of the person here, the text of what they say here, and then below you have the options that you can pick. One of the problems with the conversation system in Ultima 7 was that the text was very, very difficult to read. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to fix here. I have a couple of different fonts. I like this one. This one is my go-to, and from the poll I just did on X, it appears to be the front runner elsewhere as well. Now, unfortunately, all you can do from here is leave the conversation state. There's no actual conversation yet. In order to get that running... Oh, the dog has a gump. I did not realize that. Can I talk to the dog? Technically, yes. A female avatar is the default portrait. Let's see. I am really happy that I was able to get all the portraits working. So we've got... There's Finnegan. There's Yellow. There's Peter. There's me. Gender flipped me. There's Clog's wife, whose name I can't remember. There's Clog. Etc, etc, etc. So, what will it take to get the conversation up and running? It's going to take something called use code. The use code system in Ultima 7. Let's jump back to 1990 when this project started. There were no commercially available game development scripting languages at the time. Lua did not exist, Python did not exist. That did not happen until much later. So, you want your designers to be able to write scripts for characters in the game, and not just their conversations, everything that they do. How do you do that? And Origin's answer in 1990 was use code. What is use code? It is basically its own little language. Let me dig through my... I've got a whole bunch of tabs open here that I'm using to demonstrate a whole bunch of different things. Oh, wait. It might be a text file. I've got so many. Ah, here we go. Now, don't panic. I'm about to show you hex code. Don't panic. I'm going to explain what's going on here. This is the use code file. This one file, just use code with no extension, has all of the scripts for the game in it. And understanding how this file works is the key to making the Clockwork world actually start ticking. So this is really important. It's not just the conversation system, it's everything. The way this works is that these first two, this first two 32-bit value, and there's an Indian issue here, so it shouldn't be 9600, it should be 0096, but that doesn't matter. 0096 is the ID of this function. A2 or 162 is the size of the data that the function requires. 5D or 93 is the size of the text data that the function uses. Now, as you can see, some of this, in fact a lot of this, is human readable. The sails must be furled before the planks are raised. I think the gangplank is blocked. This is obviously the function that runs when the avatar tries to operate the ship. Now, after these text strings, you then have this gobbledygook that lasts until we get down to right here. Now, this is not human readable, clearly. These are the opcodes of the function that these strings are used by. And the functions are, while this looks arcane, the functions are actually very simple. The most commonly used one is say, which pops up the conversation system and puts text on the screen. And the second most common one is bark, which, if you're not tuned in, these are the little things that would pop up, little bits of text that pop up over people's heads, like, ah, 'tis better, too nice a day for these to be shut, I must eat soon, I'm very hungry, I'm famished, etc., etc., etc. Those were called barks by the programmer who implemented them, because it's like a dog barking. It's just something that comes out, rather than a conversation that you interact with. So those two functions are the most commonly called functions in the game, and they're very simple. And as a result, I'm hoping that getting those opcodes decoded and translated into a scripting language that we can use will be doable this coming week. And I know, I'm sorry I said that I'd have it this week, and I don't. But it's because, I realized that there is no point in ripping the conversation out of use code when I could just implement all of the use code and suddenly have a lot of things working. It was the same way when I started the project. Initially, it was just going to be a 3D map, and it wasn't going to be a map of the entire world. It was just going to be a map of Trinsic. I thought, I'll, get those chunks that represent Trinsic, I'll decode those, and you'll just be able to walk around Trinsic in 3D. But when I decoded Trinsic, I wrote the code to decode Trinsic. Well, the same code could decode the entire map, so why not just go ahead and do that? And it's the same thing here. I could just implement the opcodes for the conversations, but I would much rather go ahead and do the entire system. And so this is going to take longer, but the version number is about to jump. It's about to go way up. It's about to go from 010 to 016. And I'm hoping, that this will happen relatively quickly. I'll have something to show next week. Oh, excuse me. Sniffles. All right, so once again, I have to call out our SAR realm here. I wish I could pay him for what he's doing on this project, because when I started talking about just go ahead and implementing all of use code instead of just conversation system, he came in super clutch. He found some arcane documents on der internets, including this one from a DOS-based use code decompiler, which has the practically everything already decoded. And one of the most interesting things about this is that the system almost looks like assembly language. It's crazy. We've got jump not equal, or jump if equal, jump not equal, jump, add, sub, div, mul, mod, etc. Pop, push, everything that you would need to have a Turing complete language. And indeed, this language is Turing complete, and if I really, really wanted to, I could probably program a computer in this language that could run something. Who knows? That's not something I'm going to do, I promise. Ugh. But I feel just really, really lucky that so much stuff has already been written, and while none of it is complete in and of itself, I'm able to piece it together and make a whole out of it, and just it's just a sort of engineering problem that I adore. Oh, I love this stuff so much. And here we've got tons of clues. We've got the solution in pieces, and we just need to put it together, me and our SAR realm. And I don't think it's going to take that long. I think it's going to be one of those things that it's going to be pretty clear when we're doing it right and when we're doing it wrong. And as a result, debugging it will, I mean, I'm sure it's got tons of bugs, but things are going to take a jump here, like I said before. And I'm really looking forward to it, even though it's still going to be a lot of work. Just stupid amount of work. Hard work is the reward for hard work. All right. What else did I want to talk about? I think that's about it for the U7 Revisited update. I hate that I don't have more, flashy stuff to show you. But a seismic thing is about to happen. So, watch this space. Oh, also, one of the things that I've always thought about is, I've got an idea. Okay, I might do some live coding here. Is one of the things I've always thought about is how to fix the fact that the text is on top of these in-game graphics, and that contributes to how difficult it is to read. Now, I've got a 50% black pattern here that I'm using, but I don't. And I thought for a long time, oh, that'll be great. That'll make it much more clear. But now that I've implemented it, I kind of hate it. So let's try something else. And do some live coding. I can remember where the code is. It's not in data. Conversation state. Here we go. Yeah, and you can see that's super simple. I mean, it's a mock-up. There's nothing to it yet. Let's see. Let's not. That's the background. Let's try something else here. I want to draw like an oval, a long oval behind it, and I want to make it translucent, but only slightly, so that it's more readable. So let's see what we can do with that. If I recall correctly, we can Geist we were using. Was it draw circle? Draw rounded, draw, what is it? Box. Text button. Was it text button? It was text button. So no, I was using a function in here that was drawing that shape for the buttons. What was that function's name? Was it text button or was it icon button? I thought this would be faster. Fine. Time to look up the cheat sheet. No, not the Ray Math cheat sheet, the regular cheat sheet. Here we go. Draw circle. Draw ellipse. Is it draw ellipse? Ellipse. Is it draw circle? Okay, what was I using to draw that shape? Oh, hey. All right, that's great. That was my boy telling me that he did his chores. So I'm gonna write it down because we keep track of his chores and I pay him for them, and then he uses that money to buy things he wants off of eBay, like old books and stuff. In case I haven't mentioned it, I love him more than anything. Dishes and trash. He now has $7.89. There we go. Okay. Okay, so what the heck function was I using? Is this a Mason project? Kind of. And the answer is our Sauron wants it very much to be a Mason project. I don't know what that means. I just write C++ code and put pixels on the screen. So he's done some work making it a Mason project, but I I don't know if it actually Masons. That's the best I can do for you. I'm sorry. Draw a piece of a circle. Draw ellipse. Draw ellipse outline. Draw rectangle rounded. That's what I was using. That's why nothing was coming up. Draw rectangle rounded. Okay, here we go. I hate it when I do that. I fat finger page up or page down, and suddenly I lose my place in the code. Alright, let's see. Let's start at 0, 0, and end at 640, 180. Float roundness, not very round. Segments, I don't know what that means. Color. I don't want G55, I want it to be 128 or something like that, 128. Can y'all hear the music? I'm not humming along to nothing, am I? Okay, now let's find someone to talk to. Well, look at that! Look how easy that was. It's not dark enough, but it's exactly what I wanted. Okay, let's darken it a bit. I wonder what setting these to something different would do. Yay, Raylib. Raysan, you're awesome. Ow, 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 ow. Come on, you can do it. I need to optimize these models. Loading these models. Alright. I am not hating that. I'm not hating that at all. I think that's a damn good start. Let's see if we can make it slightly less rounded. Oh, one more thing too. Title state. Visible terrain, I notice. Oh, look at that! Look at that! You can just barely see that they're curved here on the corners. That's amazing! I've got so much control over... See, I want it basically to follow the curve of the outline of the portrait, you know, and then come over here behind the text, and then if there's a lot of text, you know, continue down here, and then where this leaves off, we can have our options of what to say, and then we can have another one down here at the bottom for whatever anybody else says. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Okay, now let's fix that other bug while we're here. Let's see. This integration. Who wrote this? Oh, it was Wudan. Wudan wrote this. And it's basically a new system to determine which chunks are visible so that we're not drawing invisible things, which is bad. Find visible chunks. This is what needs to get called at the beginning of title state. This should fix the terrain being invisible chunks. That should fix the terrain being invisible when the game first starts up. And maybe time to build a new computer. These compile times. Well, I gotta do something to get them down. But, of course, premature optimization is the root of all evil. That did not work. I am unhappy. Am I getting called? Let's stay in it. Put a breakpoint there, because we can do that now. This is all on a custom. Chelnov18 says this is all on a custom engine, right? That is correct. I'm using Raylib for drawing 2D, drawing 3D, input, and sound. But all of the game logic has been written by me. Okay, find visible chunks. Why isn't that working? Okay, that is one thing that I don't like. If you're calling something through a pointer, through a shared pointer, then you will get the shared pointer's get function when you try to step in instead of the actual function that it's pointing to. I don't know how to fix that yet. So we'll just put the, breakpoint in the right place and everything will be fine. Chelnov18, cool. Have you looked at any of the original source code? I don't know if that has ever been made public. Not only has it never been made public, it no longer exists. The source code to the original Ultima 7 was lost, and it has not been recovered, which is why all of our efforts have been bent towards reverse engineering it. The Exalt project, which is the project that tries to replicate the original engine as closely as possible, spent many, many years reverse engineering the game. A source port would have been amazing, but it's just not possible unless somebody somewhere magically, finds a box of floppies and puts one in a floppy drive and discovers that it's the source code to Ultima 7. Okay, camera position is correct. Camera target is correct. Let's see if it's passing any chunks. Boy, did that sound bad. A chunk is a 16 by 16 block of terrain textures in Ultima speak. It did not pass any chunks. Okay. It's possible init is too early. And we should do it on first load or something like that. Chelnov18 says, I am sure Richard Garrett has a disc somewhere. That's possible. But, how are you going to get a hold of him? Half the time he's under the sea and the other half he's in space. But yes, it pains me that the source code for so many of these old games is no longer available. At the time, people just didn't think about preservation. It was just on to the next game. That's exactly right. And there are a lot of parallels I love talking about this. There are a lot of parallels between early game development and early music development. Music development, as in vinyl music. Um, the first vinyl records were made by setting up these gramophones that had these huge horns on them. You would set up something like 10 of them. You would put a wax cylinder in each one. And then you would have an orchestra over here, and the conductor would go to each cylinder, turn it on, and then yell the name of what they were about to play. The Star Spangled Banner! Into each one, because you had to yell in order for anything to happen with that needle. And then once he had done that, he would go back, turn them all on, and then the band would play the Star Spangled Banner, and they would play it as loud as they possibly could. And then when they were done, you had 10 gramophone wax cylinders that had the Star Spangled Banner on it. None of those exist anymore. Everything that they did has been lost because the idea of preserving it wasn't imminent in their minds when they were doing it. And the early game development scene was the exact same way. Okay, let's fix this. Title state, you will obey me. Let's see. Let's put it on enter instead. Now, there is one tool that we've got. Excuse me. There's one tool that we've got that can help with this, and that's decompilers like Ghidra. Being able to take a built executable and decompile it back into its source code is absolutely amazing for preservation. And excuse me. This is one of the reasons that Super Mario Super Mario 64 will live forever, because that game has been completely decompiled. The source code is publicly available because it is not the original source code, because it was a decompilation. Nintendo can't do anything about it, which means that you can grab that source code and build a version of Super Mario 64 for your PC or for anything you want to run Super Mario 64 on. Now, of course, the original assets are copyrighted, so, you know, there's shadiness there. But when it comes to the original source code, decompilation could be the only way that some of these games survive. Oh. Channel of 18 says, but sometimes you can get lucky. It was recently discovered that some of the early versions of Space Quest 2 had about 80% of the source code to Steam's AGI engine on them. Hey, that's nice. Wouldn't it be nice if Ultima 7 or Serpentile had some of the creation tools embedded in them as well? Oh, that would be great. Alright, let's see if this works. Nope, didn't work. I am beginning to get upset. Wait, Find Visible Chunks wasn't called? Title state on enter. Is on enter not getting called? Fine. You will not disobey me. Yeah, we can reverse engineer all this stuff, but ultimately, that's not the same. It's Shipathesius stuff. This acts exactly like the original Ultima 7. Is it the original Ultima 7? No, it's not. Okay, there we go. I think. Okay, I'm sorry. I allowed myself to be distracted by chat. Yes, whoever made the early master disks did not erase them properly, so the files were marked as deleted and would not show up when looking at the directory, but the information had not been erased, so anything that was not overwritten by the game files could still be retrieved. And I'm guessing that the copy program that they used just took an image of the entire floppy, including whatever was in that space that was allegedly deleted, and then blasted that to every disk that they shipped. Wow, that's a great story. I'm remembering that one. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chelnov. Okay, there. Okay, there. Now it's fixed. Kind of fixed. Okay, I'm not lying. I I love it. I love it. I think it's great. We got a little problem here. These panels are not all the same size, nor are they all the same shape. But I really like the steep curve here. We could make it even steeper, honestly. Conversation state. It was 0.7, no 0.5. Let's do 0.75. Actually, I think 0.25. Yeah, the smaller it is, the sharper it is. Until you get it to 0 when it becomes a regular rectangle. Hey, Chelnov18 has provided the link if anyone wants to take a look at the AGI Space Quest 2 source code. Or at least read a story about it. So that's cool. That's cool. Okay, what are we doing? Oh, we're waiting for it to build. Okay, here we go. See, this is why I don't like live code. Because I'm constantly losing my place. Also, my code is poop. And live coding makes everybody see that my code is poop. Anywho. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Let's look at that guy. Let's see, he was here, wasn't he? Outside that room with the, yeah, here he is. Yeah, okay. Corner's inside now. I like it. I like it a lot. May need to be even darker. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Alright, and after this we're going to play some TIE Fighter. You're only going to want to stick around for that. Because frankly, TIE Fighter for a long time was, in my opinion, the best game ever made. I'm not even kidding. You're going to see why here in a minute. Yeah, yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it like McDonald's. Copy the clipboard. All right, I would push this, except that I don't like to push without then doing a Windows build. So I will push it after the stream. All right, I think that's it for Ultima 7. Now let's play some DOS games. Let's start by turning off the music. Now we are going to play some TIE Fighter. All right. First, let's talk about what version of TIE Fighter you should play. And I know this gets into purist grognard stuff, but there are a couple different versions of TIE Fighter. Um, and I'm going to tell you which one's the good one. I'm sorry, but it's true. No, not that. Where's, for crying out loud? Excuse me. Okay, fine. We'll just do it from here. There are 3 versions of TIE Fighter available on GOG. The first is, excuse me. Come on, come on, come on. Where are you? Is that Star Wars? Yes, it is. Okay. This one, labeled 1994, is the original game that came on floppies. It's an excellent game, and we're effectively going to play it because we then had, because this all happened in that magical little moment, that magical little time box where DOS was still a thing, but CDs were also a thing at the same time. And so DOS CD games existed. Um, and what that meant was that a couple years later, LucasArts grabbed everything that they had for TIE Fighter, put it on a CD called the Collector's CD, and added a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of new missions, some new voice acting, just a ton of stuff. This is the one you want. This is the one you want to buy from GOG and play obsessively. Because Windows 95 came out. You could see that this was actually released in 1995. Windows 95 came out towards the end of 95, and that meant that within a couple of years, they released another version of TIE Fighter in 1998. This version is not as good, even though it was the last one released. They took all of the graphics that were in 320 by 200 and tried to remake them all in 640 by 480, and a lot of times all they did was make them look worse. And they completely mishandled the music. They took out the original MIDI music and replaced it all with orchestral CD audio. And you might think, Anthony, MIDI sucks. Orchestral music on CD is great. Why? I'm going to show you why here in a minute. So let's get this started. Hey there, how are things? Is Not Peachtree. Hey, Not Peachtree, we just finished the U7R update. Things are going okay. I'm about to play TIE Fighter, and it's gonna be awesome. Ooh, that's loud. Okay, I don't want to mute this too much because the music is one of the things I do have to. We'll have to go back and check that out when you're done. Good stuff. Thank you. Can you guys hear the music? Because the music is one of the best things about this. Yes, music is there. Okay, here we go. And now we've got full motion video. CD capable. This intro was not in the floppy version, let me tell you. Also, very credible voice acting.
The Empire is on the verge of success. Soon, peace and order will be restored throughout the galaxy. Even now, our capable forces, led by Darth Vader, are striking back at the rebel insurgents.
The rebels are unprepared for our attack. Signal Vice Admiral Thrawn to launch his TIE squadrons immediately.
This rebel stronghold has no hope of escape. Commence the attack.
Yes, sir.
If you don't know who that was, the blue guy was Vice Admiral Thrawn, or Admiral Thrawn as he later became, from Heir to the Empire, widely considered to be the best Star Wars not made by George Lucas. So happy. Center joystick, press button. Oh, it's the oh shoot. It's not reading the joystick. Ah, it's probably because I
Enter your name, pilot.
It's probably because I alt-tabbed away. Let's see. Let's see if I can fix it. Okay, this game is huge. There are literally over 100 missions you can fly. There are a bunch of battles, historical battles that you can play. There is a combat chamber with a bunch of training missions that you can play, and also later historical missions based on, because this is all set during the time of Empire Strikes Back. And then there are a bunch of historical missions that you can play as well. You can go into the training simulator, do even more stuff, but right now we're going to go with the battle. I've very deliberately not completed this mission, even though I've flown a couple times now. Okay, now, here's the first reason you should get the collector's CD-ROM. It's because of this guy.
You are to inspect all cargo-carrying vessels that pass through this area. To accomplish this, target each freighter and transport, then fly close enough for your ship's sensors to determine what cargo the vessel has on board. Check your progress on the mission goals screen, toggled by hitting the G key.
He just has the perfect flight briefing officer voice. And of course, none of this was voiced in the original floppy version because they didn't have room for it. But that's one of the things that makes this so great. Okay, let's do it. Oh crap! Oh no! No! Okay, I'm gonna try. Okay. Yes, you need a medical assistance. Go away. Okay. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to quit and come back. Because it was not reading the joystick correctly. Alright, here we go. Hopefully it will still be at half volume. Okay, that sounds okay. We got the buttons. We got the joystick. We do not have the joystick. This worked earlier today when I was testing it. I swear. What is going on? Alright. Disconnect, reconnect. Play now. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, here we go.
The Empire is on.
Okay.
Enter your name, pilot.
The first thing you do is you enter your name, and if you don't enter your name, they won't let you in. So, we're Viridian. Let's pick that. Now let's continue battle 1. Intermission. Okay, you can see we've got a nice 640 by 480 flight resolution.
TIE Fighter Alpha 1, inspect all craft. Freighters requesting permission to pass through this sector. Transports requesting permission to pass through this sector.
It is buttery smooth, buttery smooth, because it's all polygonal instead of using rotated sprites like when Commander did. So we are just going to do our job here for a second. Actually, I'm going to set my lasers to recharge faster. This would be a good candidate for the keyboard configurator, but I know all the keys by heart, and I don't feel like I need to do that. Alright, all you have to do is target something and fly close to it to inspect it. Data 1 has been inspected. Let's come around here and do data 2. He has workers. Now we'll do these transports or freighters. 21 has foodstuffs. Perfectly legitimate. More foodstuffs. All is well. Everything's fine. An easy day in the Empire. Foodstuffs. This is the last one. Surely it has food. Oh no!
Alpha 1, primary objectives completed.
Job well done, Alpha 1. The first wave of freighters and transports has been inspected. Good work. Help with the capture operation or return to base. Warning. Illegal cargo located on one of the freighters.
Now listen to the
Imperial
music here.
transports are being dispatched to board the freighter.
The mission is allegedly done. But then...
The incoming shuttles have not identified themselves.
Did you hear that sting that came into the music when the enemies showed up?
TIE fighters, beware of enemy shuttles.
Now as we engage
Alpha
the
1, help
enemies,
the transports weaken the freighter's shields.
the music will get more frenetic. Oh god, someone got right. Someone's got me. Patootie.
Alpha 1, target disabled. Shooting Alpha 1, target destroyed.
Thank you. Who's next? You. No, not you. You.
Alpha 1, there are some new craft to inspect.
Hang on a second. I'm under attack.
Operation.
Alright, let's not get too close because you can get destroyed by running into the wreckage of the craft you just killed. There's that shuttle. Ah, crap. Nope, don't do that.
Capture operation complete.
Now, one of the things that's happening here is that the shuttle with the rebels on it was disabled. We could have helped with that, but I preferred to, fight. And now it's being towed.
Target destroyed.
Protect the captured freighter.
It's being towed back to the base. Three more shuttles. Nope. They will ram you. But this is a TIE fighter. It is so maneuverable that if you get on an enemy's buttocks, there really isn't anything they can do. Again, let's not get so close that we kiss it bye-bye.
Target destroyed.
Woo! Where'd he go? Okay, so the transport that captured the freighter has now entered the hangar. The capture operation was complete. So even though we didn't have anything to do with that, that's still something that's happening in the sphere, in the game sphere, you know, that just makes it feel more real. And yes, the shuttles can blow up the capture transport and scuttle the capture mission, which is why you want to keep on them. You don't want to let them go. Imperial shuttles turn so poorly that... Woo! Did I take a hit? I might have. Nope, okay. There. I'm just going to sit back and relax and play this game. I could have destroyed it, but that was close.
Target destroyed.
There we go. If I recall correctly, those are all the bad guys. But we do have some more things that we need to inspect. Let's see if we can pick them out here. Yeah, Anders. Alright, we've got 3 Corellian transports, YT-1300 stock-like freighters, just like Han Solo uses. So let's inspect these, because that's what we're supposed to be doing, is inspecting craft, not fighting. He has foodstuffs. He has foodstuffs. He has water. Alright, now there were a couple of containers that I also need to inspect. Ah, there they are. Talus. I don't think these are even moving. Oh, they are. Just, you know, not nearly as fast as my ship. And again, we now have a sting because a friendly ship entered the arena.
Excellent work, Alpha 1. Secondary mission objectives completed. Good work. The second wave of freighters was inspected. More importantly, we have captured the rebel freighter.
Alright. Good day's work. Maneuverable but without any shields. That is correct. Chelnov 18 says, iMuse has been hard to... Okay, Chelnov 18 knows what he's talking about. iMuse has been hard to replicate on modern systems. I cannot remember the exact reasons, just they were talking about it when the Dark Forces remaster came out. Yes, iMuse is hard because doing it with PCM audio, with audio, with WAV files, effectively, is very difficult. You have to quickly queue up, you know, what's happening, the music based on what's happening, and that just isn't how those things work. They are very data dense. They take a lot of time to, you know, load off the drive and then decompress. So being able to very quickly switch between them is very difficult. Now, of course, if you're using MIDI music or mod files, tracker music, it's very easy because the music data isn't nearly as dense. In fact, it's very, very light. It's a very small amount of data. Doesn't have to be decompressed. Just tells you what notes go with what instrument. Just play that. Uh, and so that is something that we've actually lost as game development has progressed. In the name of higher fidelity, we've lost the ability to weave music through the game like we once could. And here, let me give you a demonstration of this. Woo! I advanced to flight officer. That is enough for now, sir. And now we get to talk to the cloaked figure. We'll do that in just a second because I want to show you guys something first. I want to show you guys a game that I made along with a friend. I did the. I thought I already had this set up. Steam, where are you, buddy? There we go. I guess I must have restarted my computer. Oh, yeah, I did. I had to restart my computer to fix my microphone. Okay, so this is a game that I made with a friend of mine named Mike Hommel, also known as Hamumu. And the game may actually look familiar to you if you played Flash games back in the early 2000s. The game is called Robot Wants It All. If I can find it here. Robot Wants It All. Here we go. And it's a compilation of a whole bunch of little Flash games that he did, starting with his most famous, Robot Wants Kitty. As you can see, we've got, all the various things. Let's do the sound volume down a bit too. But I want the music volume up a bit because I'm going to show you guys something. So I made this game with Mike Hommel. He did every bit of the art and every bit of the design. I wrote the basic engine. It's the same one that I'm using for Ultima 7 Revisited now. Very, very happy with how it came out. But it did not sell very well, unfortunately. I thought it was a wonderful demonstration of his design abilities and my programming abilities. But in the original game, let me show you this. He wanted something in the original game. He had something that basically remixed music based on where you were in the maze, and I'll show you that. Okay, that is the sound. That is the music that plays when you are on this blue metal floor. Now, when we jump up here onto the yellow floor, listen to what happens. We just cross-faded into another track. Come back down to the blue. So we crossfade between those tracks seamlessly. How did we do that? There are 4 music tracks based on the part of the maze that you're in. And each one has its own music. So we are playing all 4 of those tracks at all times. And when I crossfade, it simply fades out blue and fades in yellow, which was already playing. Dr. Petter did this music, by the way. But my point is, this is what it requires. I'm really happy with these animated menus. I thought we did a great job on those. But that's what it required for us to be able to simply crossfade between two tracks using digital audio. We had to be playing the tracks at the same time. We had to start all 4 tracks at the beginning of the map, play them all continuously, loop them all continuously. And then 3 of them would be played at volume 0, and 1 of them would be played at full volume. And then when you go to a different part of the maze, this one fades out, the next one fades in. I have a friend who's an amazing audio programmer, and he was the one who told me, nope, can't do it. Can't do that. You can't, load the first part of this one, and then just fade out this one and then start playing this one. It doesn't work like that. You'll get gaps every time. The only way to get it to work is to play all of them all the time at the same time and loop them all and use the volume slider. Dumb. Again, this was something that was trivial before we started digital audio, and it's now almost impossible. Or it's possible, but it requires so much more effort than it should. Okay, I made my point. Let's get back to TIE Fighter. For crying out loud. First time chat, restful blood. I hate you. Die. How do I die him? Oh my god, how do I kill him? There. You have been eliminated. Okay, there we go. One message was deleted by a moderator. That was me. Okay, let's get back to TIE Fighter and talk to the cloaked figure.
Enter your name, pilot.
All right. We now have a cloaked figure that we can talk to, as well as our flight officer. Wheels within wheels in the Empire. How may I serve the Emperor?
I am a special envoy of the Emperor. In this time of crisis, political intrigue and open rebellion, the Emperor requires special means of communication with his loyal forces. In the battles ahead, I will ensure that his wishes reach those like yourself who have pledged their fealty to him. You will have many opportunities to serve the Emperor and will be rewarded for your efforts. In the mission ahead, locate the rebel officers who are fleeing from Hoth in a stolen Imperial shuttle. We have forces standing by who will attempt to disable and capture this shuttle once you have located it.
So, we have additional mission objectives now. Let's see what the flight officer says.
3 TIE fighters from Alpha, Beta, and Gamma squadrons will patrol the area around the station. Your weapon arming crew has added concussion missiles to your TIE fighter for more firepower.
Let's go.
Sector alert. There are unknown craft entering our area. Beta and Gamma squadrons engaging enemy forces. Alpha squadron, join the attack and engage the enemy.
You got it. Now this is a Y-wing.
Stop all Y-wings from making torpedo runs on D-34.
Okay, he just explained it for me. Is the shuttle here yet? I think so. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of Y-wings. Ooh! Oh! And I did so good in the first mission. Okay. Yeah, alright. Let's try that again. I'm not even gonna talk to him.
Sector alert. There are unknown craft entering our area.
Yeah, we have the problem that these Y-wings are flying directly towards us, making it very easy for them to
Alpha
shoot at us.
Squadron, join the attack and engage the enemy. Stop all Y-wings from making torpedo runs on D-34.
Making long-range shots like this can cause ships to break formation early. Which can make it easier for them to, you know, not directly shoot at you. Okay. Alright, okay, yeah, here we go. Fire, it's time for a furball. It's right behind me. There we go. Alright, alright. Now the thing about Y-wings is, they're pretty weak. Excuse me. Son of a gun. Okay. The good news is you don't have to fly very many missions in a stock TIE fighter before you start getting to other fighters. And once you get to the TIE Advanced, it's delicious.
Beta and Gamma Squadrons, engaging enemy forces. Alpha Squadron, join the attack and engage the enemy.
Join the attack? That sounds violent.
Stop all Y-wings from making torpedo runs on D-34.
Alright, 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 alright. Y-wings are bombers. They have a lot of torpedoes. They could blow up that starbase that we're based on. Okay, nope. Time for the jukes. The jukes. The jukey jukes. The jukey McJuke jukes. Okay. If y'all want to stay in formation while we're blowing the crap out of you, sure. And speed with target. That's something I wish Wing Commander had, was the button that allows you to match speed with your target, so you don't run into them. And now we got a furball. Oh god, I love them so much, it's delicious. That's delicious. Come on, you can get it. There we go.
Under attack. The base is being attacked. We need to defend the station.
Crap. Where'd they go? Oh, they're close enough to the... Oh, shoot! You get a firing solution on that? You don't want that to hit the base. Now we're cooking it. Goodbye. Okay, initial base, initial wave, done. Looks like they took one torpedo, knocked the shields down to 90, that'll be fine. They'll be okay. Now we just need to continue. Some pink, something pink here. X-Wing? Crap! Now we're in trouble. It's flying right towards me as usual. Why are we still heading towards it? It's gotten distracted me. It's pulling us in. Good job. Teamwork makes the dream work. I thought I saw another green. It's that boy. Behind me. They're way out. I can't. There we go. I'm surprised they didn't shoot at me. And we just got a sad sting because one of my friends got destroyed. Oh, that's the shuttle. That's got to be the shuttle. Shuttle's going to try and sneak through while we're engaging the X-Wings. I will not allow it. Blue 2. Ooh, so fast. Kiss your ass goodbye, sucker. There's the shuttle. Is it going to engage?
Good work,
Got him.
Alpha 1. Secondary mission objectives completed. Good work. You've discovered a shuttle carrying rebel officers. Assault gunboats have been dispatched to disable and capture it.
I forgot about assault gunboats. Oh, those are so fun to fly. Even though they can't turn for crud. But man, you could just blow the hell out of anything in those things. I think we might be done now. Whoa! Nope. Oh. Okay, those blue beams are ion cannons, which will take down enemy shields, and then their system. If you can see on my screen, oh crap.
This is you. One target disabled.
These Y-Wings are going to try and keep us from capturing the shuttle. You can see on my screen here at the bottom where it says shield currently 0%, system 0%, hull 100%. When hull gets to 0, the craft is destroyed. But when CIS gets to 0, the craft is disabled. It can no longer fly or fight. And that's exactly what those blue ion beams do. They remove a shield, and then they also... Hey, where's the fight? Where's the fight at? See, there's the assault gunboat. Oh, here we go. Nice speed target.
Good shooting, Alpha 1.
I want to allow these rebel scum to destroy the freighter that we're trying, or the transport that we're trying to capture. Alright. I think the mission is technically over, but I think that we want to hang around just for a second and make sure the shuttle gets where it's supposed to go.
Excellent work, Alpha 1. Primary mission objectives completed.
The Star Destroyer Hammer has arrived to take command of the battle. Good work. You have fought well in defending D-34 Outpost. The Imperial-class Star Destroyer Hammer is here to recover station defense forces.
Son of a gun. Corvettes. I do have some missiles, but not enough for that. Ah, here come the bombers. Alright, alright.
Capture operation complete.
Let's go. Okay, we got the shuttle. The Imperial officers will give us valuable intelligence, I'm sure. If they hadn't explicitly ordered me to come back, goes another flight of bombers. Get those Corellians. I think I'm clear. I don't think they're close enough to get me. So, Imperial starters. Oh, they're just getting wiped out.
Target destroyed.
Okay, there we go. There. All right. Perfect mission.
You have defeated an attack by the rebels and Mugari. You have saved our outpost from destruction and destroyed many of the attacking enemy ships.
Talk to cloaked figure.
The rebel officers you have located will prove useful to our cause. From them we will learn the whereabouts of other rebel terrorists.
27%. 27%. That's pretty bad. But I complete the mission. And now things start to get serious. But I've been streaming for 2 hours, and that's usually when I give up.
We have traced the Mugari pirates' hyperjump path to a cargo loading area in the Tungra sector.
Oh, I remember this one.
Your first objective is to stop the cargo ferries from escaping with their contraband.
Okay, enough. Amazing game. Incredibly fun today. I recommend everybody play it. Just make sure you get the right version. Get the 1995 collector's CD version. All right. That's it. Can't find the CD version. Did they remove it? Blank 523 says. Wait. TIE Fighter Special Edition. Wait, what's this? Is this the Windows 95 one? Oh, huh. Includes Star Wars TIE Fighter and Star Wars TIE Fighter Defender of the Empire, both 1994 DOS and 1998 Windows versions. Okay, I'm all confused now. I don't know. This is a game that made me a man. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, this game is hard. There's just no getting around it. It's hard. Okay. Okay. This is just what I wanted to know. All right, so this apparently includes the DOS CD version and the Windows 95 version. So it's all of it together, and you can pick which one you play. And for $10, it's an amazing experience. And odds are really good you can get on sale if you can. So apparently they wanted to eliminate the confusion that I explained at the beginning of the stream. And so now this is the only one you can buy, and it has both the DOS CD and Windows versions in it, which is great. Do that. Do that. All right. I think that's it. Love you all. See y'all next week when hopefully the clockwork starts to turn and stuff starts to happen in Ultima, and maybe things will get better in the job situation. We'll see. Bye.